Hi there, Steve from Cool Riffs Guitar, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Valeton GP-5 and how we can make a heavy metal patch, or in fact patches. We're not going to just do one, we're going to do two. We're going to do one for rhythm, which you've just heard, which you could use to solo with, it's fine for that. But I'm also going to pop one down with some delay and that kind of thing, which is going to be great for soloing. That's the rhythm patch that you've just heard. Let's have a listen to the solo patch. Right, so this is the solo patch. As I said, it's got delay on it. And let's just have a quick listen to it. So you can hear that delay. I don't tend to put delay on very loud, or a lot in the mix, let's put it that way, because it can overpower things a little bit and get a little bit messy when you're soloing. So here I'm going to just play a little bit of rhythm again, and you can hear how it kind of works. It's very ambient. Okay, let's have a listen to it solo. Okay, so let's get on with creating these presets so that you can build your own heavy metal ones. Now, my presets are how I like it to sound. You can always tweak and twiddle with it and do what you want. You can just use it as a base for getting that cool heavy metal sound. So let's have a look and see how to do it. So here we have the GP-5, as you can see. I've got it set on a blank patch at the moment, and I'm just going to go through how we connect it up to your phone. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press the parameter button, and that will make this here flash on and off, which is the Bluetooth. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to move the Valeton because there's not a lot to see really, to be honest with you, once I've done this, and we can have a look at my phone with the application on it. So here we go. Right, apologies if you get any reflection off my phone screen, but there's not much I can really do about it because they only do it as an app. If they did it on the PC or the Mac, I could actually do some kind of screen recording, but I can't do it. So I've pressed the parameter dial on the little GP-5 pedal, and that means that the Bluetooth is now on. All I need to do now is press this icon and then this little icon. You'll notice that the connect device in blue's turned on, so I can press that, and the suite with all the pedals on has now appeared, so that's cool. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to get a guitar, and we can start making our heavy metal patch. First of all, because it's quite a high gain patch, we're going to need some noise reduction on this. So as you can see at the top here, I've got NR on there, and I'm going to press the little thing here, and on it goes. So I set the noise reduction threshold to 20. Carrying on, the preset volume I've got set on this is set to 50. So if you go to the patch setting there, you can see that it says, if I just, there you go. It went out of focus for a second, but never mind. Okay, it says it's on 50. So that's cool. That's all ready to rock. I'm going to go back to the edit button there. There we go. And let's go on and see if we have a preamp. Yes, we do have a preamp. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on the preamp next door and click on pre. And I have that set to compressor. And it is set to sustain 20 and volume 50. So that's already set up. That's absolutely wonderful. Okay, the next thing that I wish to go to, I'm not using a distortion pedal on this because this amp that I'm using is pretty gainy anyway. So I'm going to go to the NS function here, and this is what they call the snap tone. It's like a recording, it's like a capture of an amp, and I'm going to select the MES JP, and it's going to be on channel 2. So let's have a look down there. So I'm going to click onto here, find MES JP, channel 2, and it's going to load this NAM file in, and I'm going to click on that. Now you'll notice that what we've got here is we've got the amp is now turned off and the cab is now turned off because it can't load in two things at the same time. So it's either or either, but that's not a problem. This sounds absolutely wonderful. Okay, so let's have a look at the settings that I've got set for the MES JP channel 2. I've got gain at 50, I've got volume at 50, I've got bass at 50, middle at 50 and treble at 50. So it's all set at 50. Here we go, have a look down there. Okay, so that's already set up. Let's have a quick listen to that. Okay, that's what that sounds like. The next setting that I'm going to go to, I don't need the amp or the cab, is I'm going to go to the EQ setting. Now it's got a great little, it's got quite a few equalizers actually. This is called the guitar EQ1, and to arm it, just press that and it's armed. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the 125 where it is on 0. I'm going to leave the 400 Hertz at 0, and I'm going to go to 800 Hertz, and I'm just going to back that off because that's kind of the middle section, and I'm going to back that off to -20. And what we're doing there is we're what we call scooping the mids, because the 800 Hertz and 1000 Hertz is kind of in the mid-range of the spectrum for audio. Okay, for this anyway, for this guitar patch. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the 1.6 kilohertz, and I'm going to raise that to number 6. There we go. And let's see what else we're going to do. I'm going to have a look at the volume at the bottom, and I want that to be 55. There we have it. Now what I'm going to go to next, I'm going to go to the reverb. So reverb is over here. Turn that on. Now the reverb I'm going to use is a good old spring reverb. I do like spring reverbs. I think because I'm a bit old school, I do like a spring reverb. Now I'm going to set the spring reverb decay, which is like the length of your reverb, to 25. Or thereabouts. Oh, there we are, 25. And then I'm going to set the mix to 25. Okay, and I'm just going to pop the trail on. The trail is normally, it kind of leaves it on if you go to another patch, so it doesn't kind of cut off all of a sudden. Okay, so let's have a look at that. And it should sound pretty cool. Right, okay, so I'm just going to check that I've remembered everything. I've set my noise reduction up. I've set my preamp up. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think I checked the patch setting as well. The patch setting is like your preset volume. Okay, so that is how I would set up that first patch called Metal Rhythm. I guess we could call it Metal Rhythm. Now to save it, you just pop to the top there, to this little icon here, and it will come up with that, and you can just type in whatever you want to call it, Metal Rhythm, and that was how you do it. I'm going to get rid of all these settings in a minute, and I'm going to set up that metal solo sound in a minute, so I won't save it, but that's how you do it. Okay, and you can also use the computer program for arranging your patches and things like that. So that is your Metal Rhythm, and that's how it's set up. Pretty easy, not too difficult. Right, so what we're going to have a look at now is how to make up the metal solo patch. I'm going to just leave these on for the time being. I might have add other bits and bobs, but the metal solo patch uses the same noise reduction. I'm just going to still click on it so you can see. Okay, it's going to use the noise reduction is going to be on 20, as you can see there. And that's all you need to do. Now there's all sorts of, I don't know if there's any more choice. On the noise reduction it just says gate, but if you clicked on where the arrow is on the other settings, you'll find there's loads of other options that you can get. So that's really nice. Okay, so let's have a look at the preset volume for this. The preset volume, I'm going to pop down to 46. Now, when you're doing a solo patch, you might want to boost it. If I'm playing live, I might put it 3 dB up, maybe, or maybe a little bit more, not too much more. It just needs to rise above my other patches so that it cuts through the mix. What did I say, 46? I did say 46. Okay, so we're going to pop it onto that. So that's 46. Let's have a look at the next patch. Go to back to edit there, and I'm going to go to the preamp. Okay, now what am I going to use on my preamp for this patch? Let's have a quick look. We've got it set on compressor again, and we're going to save it as 20 on the sustain and 50 on the volume, exactly the same as we did on the other one. Let's go to the next point. I don't use any distortion on this because the amp really has enough distortion as it is. Let's have a look at the next part. We're going to the NS again, and we're going to use the same amp, which is the MES JP channel 2. Okay, so let's have a look at what I've got it set up on here. There's a slightly different setting. I've got gain on 50. My volume is actually set to 60 on this, so it's a bit of a boost on the volume. Let's pop it to 60. Oops, 61 or thereabouts, you know, let's not worry about one setting. Okay, I'm going to do the bass on 50, the middle on 50, and the treble on 60. Okay, so I'm going to put that up to 60. So it's just going to cut through a little bit more, that's all, by doing that. Okay, so that's your N and S. Let's go further along. Let's go to the EQ. And let's see if there's any variation in that. Well, there is quite a variation actually. I'm actually looking at a spreadsheet at the moment that I've made up, which is pretty useful when you've got all these different variables. Okay, so let's have a look. So I've got 125 at 0. I've got 400 Hertz at 0. The 800 Hertz I've kept at 0. I haven't scooped it on here because I don't want that scoop sound for my solo. Now my 1.6 kilohertz I've got set to 6 as I had before. My 4 kilohertz is at 0 and my volume is set to 55, so that's exactly the same. Let's see what else. Now here's where the difference comes in. I'm actually using a delay, so I'm going to click on delay and I'm going to press there, and the delay that I'm going to use is called pure. Now, if I just click on there, you'll see there's loads and loads and loads of delays there's loads of delays to choose from, but I like the pure one. I think it might be a digital delay actually, that one. Now let's see how that's set. So my delay is set to time is 475. So I just want to bring that down a little bit, just a little bit. Let's have a look. 475, come on. Oh my goodness, what am I doing? 470 will do. That'll do. Okay, the feedback I'm going to keep to 10. Now feedback is how many repeats you've got. And I don't want that many repeats, I just want a couple. Because when I finish a song sometimes, or 9 or 10 will do. Okay, and I'm going to put the trail on as well. There we go. On the mix, I'm going to set to 10. There we go. So I should have mix on 10, time 470 to 475 as I was messing about there. My feedback I've got on 10, and that's it. That's it, and it's set to pure, which is really nice. Okay, I'm just going to see if I've got any reverb on this one. Yeah, just a little bit, and it's set exactly the same as the other one. So just click on the reverb. Let's check that out. 25 and 25, that's right, with a trail on, and that should be how it sounds. Right, let's have a listen to the patch now. Well, I think that sounds pretty good. So don't forget, press that at the top to do your save. So click on that, name your patch, and away you go. So those are my two metal presets. You've got your metal rhythm and you've got your metal solo. And if you check out my other GP5 video, how is it good? Is it good enough to gig? Can you gig it? The A to Z function is really useful if you just want to use, you know, 2 or 3 patches, and you can just cycle through them really quickly, and you could gig it. But use a backup. Have a backup of some description just in case your GP5 decides to play up. So I'm going to be making loads more presets for my subscribers and viewers to enjoy. Please subscribe, because that really helps, and that will keep my channel going. And I hope to see you very soon, and have fun.